So it was reported that the Queen spent last Wednesday evening getting some hospital checks. It's not very common that Buckingham Palace would announce something like this. I actually can't remember the last time Buckingham Palace chose to release this type of information about the Queen, and so I have to question the timing and purpose for the release of this info, because it came right after, coincidence or conspiracy, you decide, after Meghan's letter came out, the letter that she wrote in petition to Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer calling for parental leave on behalf of paid leave for all. So yes, I am a little suspicious because there is a pattern of the British press trying to make Harry and Meghan look somehow selfish because they're getting on with their own life, not concerned with whatever it is that's going on with the other members of the royal family. At the Queen's age, it's only natural that she's going to be having more regular checks anyway. And the press and royal offices did this with Prince Philip, if you remember, around the time of the Oprah interview. In an attempt to try to stop the interview, they came out with all of these ridiculous headlines about how the interview would make Philip's health decline. And they tried to use this old man to stop the interview and were so incredibly predictable about it that my entire feed, the day after the first Oprah interview trailer came out, my whole feed was full of squaddies saying how they would use Philip, and it wasn't too long afterwards that we started hearing hour by hour updates about Philip's declining health. Now, with all due respect, the man was 99 years old. His health isn't going to do anything but decline at that age. Your body is effectively dying. And, Philip survived the German Reich, the Spanish flu, the IRA, Star Wars, the Battle of Naboo. This man has survived everything. So the idea that an interview with Oprah would kill him, I mean, are you for real? It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And quite frankly, the way in which the British press were acting was what was disrespectful. Harry and Meghan choosing to speak their truth was not disrespectful, and the interview was recorded well before it was made public or known about Philip's declining health. History will not forget how ridiculous the British press were, and as soon as the interview was done, absolutely nothing about Philip's health was mentioned after that. That is how shameless the press and those within the firm are. I would bet money that Philip probably never watched that interview, but that's neither here nor there. It was vile that they had to use an elderly man as a beating stick to bash his grandson with, and they will do it again with the Queen. So we need to be ready for a time when, as the Queen gets older and her health naturally declines, they will blame her grandson and his wife. They will find every way possible to use her ill health to bash Harry and Meghan. And I'm saying it now because we need to make sure that we don't lose our minds, squaddies, when this happens. Because regardless of what some of us may think about the Queen, Harry still loves and respects and honours his grandmother, and Meghan has never said a bad word publicly about her either. And so they will probably both travel to the UK. Prepare for that, squaddies. Prepare for the circus. Because do you really think that the British press will miss the chance to turn what should be a somber and respectful occasion into a circus? There is so much money to be made. We're going to have 100 articles a day from body language experts and all the rest of it. You know the drill by now, squaddies. It's so predictable. They will use Harry and Meghan as a beating stick and try to somehow blame the Queen's ill health on them. And there's other ways that they have played this guilt game before. Remember when Meghan and Harry came back for the farewell tour? Meghan went to visit one of her patronages and Camilla was doing some kind of meeting with a domestic violence abuse charity, and they accused Meghan of upstaging her. Well, of course Meghan did. But that's not Meghan's fault. It's not Meghan's fault. She's prettier, more interesting, and even her haters would rather pay attention to her, because I promise you, all of those people who were accusing Meghan of stealing Camilla's shine were not interested in whatever it was Camilla was doing that day at all. So the press and the palace play this guilt game in many different ways, but expect that it will continue because they are running out of straws to grasp onto, and anything that they can do to continue to kick this can down the pavement, they will. They've lost almost all of their steam, so these types of tactics is all they have left. But the silver lining to all of this is that we know that they're not going to be able to keep up this ridiculous charade for much longer, and that they are getting incredibly desperate. Harry and Meghan have the right to get on with their lives. They have their own family now. They have their own business to tend to. When Meghan was suicidal and begging for help, nobody wanted to stop and listen. Nobody wanted to stop and help her. So why should she and her husband have to stop what they're doing now to cater for other people who never even cared about them when they were at their lowest point? Please make it make sense. Anyway, that's all for today's video, squaddies. Thank you for listening as always. Wishing you a wonderful week. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.